And I don't really care what they say, cause I'm living rent free. Summertime. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Yeah. Guess who's living rent free? Yeah, it's me, Zeus. Feeling good, everything's alright. I got my head high, and I'm shining all bright like a light. Walking down the street, people looking at me, and I don't really care what they say. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I said I'm living rent free. Yeah, I said I'm living rent free. Yeah, and I don't care what they say, cause I'm living rent free. La la la, can't nobody bring me down. La la yeah, la, it's me again every Friday. La la la, living life how I wanna. La la la, can't nobody tell me. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. You want to live rent free? No, 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 it's not that kind of rent free. Cut it out. Gotta take chances and persevere. Don't let nobody hold you back. Keep pushing forward. Stay on track. Don't make me have to play back. I'm living rent free. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Kim, good morning. How are you doing, Jim? All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. All right. We are once again back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you knew we couldn't let this week end without getting it in on Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans, and honestly, giving Joe Biden his round of applause. Ginger, welcome. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I've been getting a lot of people reaching out to me, telling me, Zeus, it sounds like you've defeated MAGA, and I said, yeah, I think I've defeated MAGA because right now they're in a state of shock right now. He's doing great building Trump's wall. Stuart, when you said that, what exactly are you saying? Stuart, are you a Trump supporter, Stuart? Stuart, don't get in here and start talking crazy to Zeus. It's Friday. I'm trying to relax. Greetings, brother attacking. How are you? They're shook. Tiffany, nice to see you. You know, the job reports booming 336,000 jobs. Did you all see the news? Miss Terry, thank you. Did you all see the news? 336,000 jobs. And this is despite the strikes that we hear are going on with the United Auto Workers, right? Not attacking anyone. You just stated a what? You stated what? Listen, if you're going to say something, just say it and be straight and direct when you say it. So Biden is out here saving the United States of America each and every single day, all right? And what do we have going on in the GOP? I just checked the news, ladies and gentlemen, and Jim Jordan is being endorsed by Donald Trump to be Speaker of the House. Oh, user, you're back. Why do these Trump supporters come into my live with these fake TikTok accounts, with these lies, and then try to act like they are victims when we all know they're not, right? Jim Jordan should not be Speaker of anything. As a matter of fact, Jim Jordan needs to turn himself in, put his hands behind his back, and he needs to go to jail with all the other January 6ers, right? And I'm being sincere and I'm being honest, all right? What makes Jim Jordan great? What makes Jim Jordan great, ladies and gentlemen? No answers, right? That's typical MAGA behavior. They have no answers for Zeus, all right? They have no answers. All right, let's get to the box. I don't got much time, ladies and gentlemen. We don't got much time. Attacking, what do we got?
So I got a question.
I see you. Attacking, what's going on?
So I got a question. If they're going to try to jail Hunter Biden for taxes, which he ended up paying $2 million, I just listened on the news right now. Rudy Giuliani owes $500,000 and Mike Lindell owes millions. Are the Republican Party going to go after them to have them jailed also?
Oh, of course not. That's too much like right. You know, the Republican Party, they don't go after anyone other than people they feel are a threat to Donald Trump. You know how this works, right? But I
No,
firmly believe you. I firmly believe you. We need to go after them.
yeah, just to be fair, I don't like hypocrisy,
Mm.
and I don't care what side of the aisle anybody's on. If they're committing uh, a criminal activity, they should be held accountable, red, blue, or independent, don't you think?
Absolutely.
I knew I would get that from you. Thank you very much for confirming my thought process because that just makes you and I so much more intelligent than some of these
Yeah.
people that listen to you
Exactly.
on the
We're,
right
we're
hand
way
side.
more intelligent than MAGA attacking, and I got to be real honest with you. And you and I, we have different styles in terms of how we deal with MAGA.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
MAGA doesn't stand a chance against us because what have they gotten correct?
Uh, Nothing. I
Easy.
yeah, I haven't seen any wins. They
Mm-mm.
keep on losing seats, and they just lost Kevin McCarthy, who's I think I also heard he's going to probably be
Oh, Sir Puff, cut it out.
resigning. I think
Mm.
he's going. He's leaving
Yeah,
after
Kevin
they put
McCarthy,
some.
you said he's going to resign?
I think I heard he's leaving.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
after they put somebody back in the seat. Yeah,
mm, I
that's
think
what
that's good news. I think
I
that's good news.
because you know what that also does. Do you know what also that
Have you
does?
heard any? You heard any news about President Biden lately in terms of him resigning?
No, I
Hmm.
haven't heard anything like that. No.
Have you heard about President Biden being indicted for anything?
No, I haven't heard anything about that either.
Oh, you haven't? Have you heard about President Biden doing anything worthy of impeachment?
Yeah,
Oh, snuggle. Okay.
no. Haven't heard anything about that
So,
either.
so, so I think it's safe to say President Biden is doing a darn good job. Sir Puff, Democrats are leaving their party.
He is doing a darn good job with the hole that Donald Trump dug us,
Hmm.
that he has to fill to put the level again, to build up again to where it is at right now with the 336,000 jobs added. Now
Hmm.
I think we're close to 14 million jobs, maybe a little bit over since Joe Biden has been president. That's replenishing what was lost under Trump plus. And the thing is, people on the right hand side forget about the relative connection that
Hmm.
relates to the pandemic, which has caused close down, which caused people losing their jobs, which
Yeah.
caused prices to go up worldwide. And Joe Biden and the other countries work to try to get things leveled out. So the relative connection to the cost of living right now might be a little bit higher, but it's not due to Joe Biden. I think what happened is when Donald Trump threw
Yeah, we
out
hear ourselves, Sir Puff. Did
when Donald Trump threw out the pandemic playbook that President Obama put in place
right?
5 years, 7 months, and 13 days before it hit, and Donald Trump threw that into the garbage and then said on TV, who could have ever known that this would have been a real thing? I think the first black president thought that.
Amen. Barack Hussein Obama.
Yeah,
Right.
Barack Hussein, like Donald Trump says it, Obama. Gotta emphasize Hussein
Hey,
Obama.
that's one of my favorite things to do. That's one of
Yeah,
my favorite because I know that makes
yeah,
mega triggered.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Hey,
And just
hey,
like Kamala Harris as well. What do you think about
exactly.
President Biden and that wall thing? Don't you like how President Biden gives MAGA what they want and they still keep crying? He built the wall that they were begging for.
Yeah,
He reluctantly did it. And,
yeah.
and, and these MAGA possessed hypocrites are still in their feelings crying. What a shame.
Well,
MAGA, you are
he had to do he did that. But also Also, Biden got the $1.5 billion from Mexico to help with the security on the
Oh,
wall. Biden also
check it
got
out,
the in,
HVAC. I'm gonna get you.
Biden also got the infrastructure bill passed that Donald Trump kept on saying 2 weeks. Biden also got insulin
Ah,
down to $35, which helps
thank you.
America across the board. Biden has got the CHIPS bill, the PACT Act, and every other bill, 350
Are you talking about this
bipartisan.
Joe Biden right here? Right here, the one that looks like he's meditating on how to beat Donald Trump?
Oh, yeah, Sleepy Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
guy.
Eyes
That
are
guy.
wide open.
Yeah, yeah. His eyes are wide open. His brain is functional. He might have a little stutter, but you know what the hell? We're not perfect. I mean, look at me. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not perfect at all. I mean, I'm far from being you. I mean, I'm not handsome.
Well, I'm handsome.
I'm not humble. You
Yeah.
know,
I'm pretty sure attacking, there's a lot of people in the audience that agree with us. And
and
so,
exactly.
considering that they agree with us, I
Right.
think you and I got it figured out,
Right,
right?
exactly. And then the thing is we both bring receipts to everything that we talk about, unlike people like Snuggles or HVAC or Clickbait or Janae or Conservative Lynn or Stacy or all these other names that never have any factual information.
Oh, you know what I call them? Fake TikTok hosts. They're real.
Fake Christian TikTok hosts.
Oh, that's
Right. And then you got greasy balls people like Jeff HVAC, who's like, I
Oh,
mean,
now listen, Jeff has been doing okay. I
has
like
he?
Joe
Has he
attacking.
has he changed his oil filter yet?
Well, listen, he minus the comments about him being handsome, he's
Uh-huh.
doing a good job spreading Zeus's message throughout TikTok
Well,
community.
well, the thing is this. I would hate to smell his breath because if his breath smells the way he looks,
Jesus.
it's like a garbage can, man.
Well, I don't like
I'm just,
smelling another
but
man's
that's
breath.
me. See, now I don't have tact. I don't have proper
You don't.
decorum. You are a polite person. I'm not. I'm 64 years old. You're a young stud. I'm an old
Hmm.
stallion or whatever you want to call it. But the thing is this, I lay it out thick and deep and I don't lie.
Jesus Christ.
By the way, I played all my Bob Woodward's audiobook. Finally, it's all done today. Had a lot of people like it. I appreciate
Good.
it. And then next week, I'm finishing up with Casey Hutchinson's
Oh,
audiobook. And by the way,
talk to him.
by the way, it was amazing listening to it all, what Donald Trump told Bob Woodward about everything from COVID to January 6th to all this stuff, all the fake votes and all that stuff. It was amazing, my man.
Tell him.
Yeah.
Tell him.
Oh, I got some minute clips. I can just go to my bio and listen to a couple of minute clips. I'm gonna try to break it down like I did on my very first page that TikTok took down and
Yeah.
split it up into like 20 different segments.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Okay.
but I'm gonna bring somebody else up who can contribute a lot better than I can. And you are the most handsome. You are the most humble. You are the most honest.
I thank you, brother attacking. I
And if
really
Nutty and if Nutty's listening, yes, I'm kissing up to him. Yes.
Oh, cut it out. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to attacking. Yeah, we're just having listen, it's the closet of truth. And HVAC, I do see you, my good friend. We're gonna check in, but I'm gonna give it a nice little second. I gotta heat it up a little bit before I get involved. Sir Puff, welcome.
Welcome. Hello, fine sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm great now. I mean,
Long time no
I'm
see.
privileged to be part of the best satire show on TikTok. Thank you for having me to the best satire show
This isn't,
available.
this isn't the best satire show on TikTok. This isn't even satire.
It's 100% satire
What makes it satire in your opinion?
about everything y'all say.
Name one thing that you would say is satire. I mean, name
Oh,
one
well,
thing. Was it funny when I
everything.
said Trump was going to get indicted?
Well, I'll give you an example. Again, I love how you think somehow indicted means guilty and you promote that it means guilty. It doesn't. It's a charge.
Hmm.
So if you get charged with something, it's a charge. It's an indictment. It's
Right,
nothing
right.
more than an indictment. I think convictions are what count, correct, in this country?
Well, that does help. a
No, it
conviction
doesn't help.
does help, but
That's what we go under. We are innocent until proven guilty. So
hmm.
perpetrating any guilt before guilt is not going under our system. It's actually
Well,
contaminating the jury pool.
let me ask you a question, Sir Puff. You're a man of law and order, correct?
Yeah, I'd like to think that.
I mean, okay, so what do you think about a person disclosing national security information to their friends without permission?
Well, what I think about it is it's hearsay because you have no proof of that. You just have someone saying that's what's happened, and there's been no proof of that at any court, that any judge has admitted into evidence. Because, and here's why that's not true, Zeus, and I can explain that to you real easy. You wouldn't need 91 charges of all kinds of different charges if you had a man actually doing nuclear documents. That would be the definition of treason. That would surpass every charge he's got by 10. They would just charge him with that.
Wait, now, Sir Puff, and I believe you 100,000%. But what if there's a small chance that he did do this?
But there's that thing, because if there was a small chance, that's what they would have arrested him for,
Well,
because that's treason.
okay, so let's just go down this path, and I appreciate you exploring this with me. You're saying here on TikTok that if what they're accusing him of is true, that Donald Trump committed treason.
If Donald Trump shared nuclear documents outside of any place that he could have, that would be the definition of treason. But there's
And
something there, but Zeus,
no, no,
that
no,
there's a
no.
big, but it's a big part in that, because you got a lot of the ifs and a lot of look what they said, like just like he said, attacking said, did you see what Donald Trump did? Bob Woodward said. Well, I don't know anywhere that hearsay is admissible anywhere.
Right, but I'm just trying to make sure I know where you stand because I'm one of these old fashioned guys, right? You judge a man by their principles, right?
Uh-huh.
You agree with that?
Oh, certainly, I agree. Anyone that commits treason in this country should be convicted of treason. If they've convicted treason, and you should have according to what comes to you for treason. Donald Trump's not above that. Nobody's above that.
So you're open to the reality that there just may be a percentage
No. No,
that
I'm
he
not
may
open
have
to that.
committed
I'm
treason.
not open to that. I'll tell you why. Because if there was just a percentage, that would be the charge they charged him with. But here's what actually happened. The nuclear
I mean,
document that y'all are talking about, the nuclear document was a magazine he was waving, reading an article talking about that same thing to a reporter. Literally.
how do you
There
know
is
that?
no document. There is no document.
But how do you know that, Sir Puff?
Because it would have been submitted into evidence, and you would need no reason for all these other charges, because that charge way surpasses every other charge he's got. That would be an
Okay, so
open shut
I'm
case.
gonna throw a situation at you, all right? You know how this country works, right? A lot of people even get wrongfully convicted. You ever heard of that, right? Wrongful convictions, right?
Mhm. It's about
So,
3% in our country.
okay, so let's just do the numbers game, right? Say you are being accused of robbing a bank, and there's
Uh-huh.
100 people that say you robbed that bank. What do you think the probability of you going to jail for robbing a bank is?
I lost you the second half of that.
Oh, okay. So say a bank was robbed, and 100 people say you were the person that robbed the bank, right?
Uh-huh.
What do you think the odds of you going to jail are? Whether or not
Being
you did,
arrested,
whether or not
being
you did it, whether or not you did it, where
okay,
do you,
okay.
because
The
perception
odds
is
of the
reality.
odds of being charged are high. I'd be charged. It doesn't mean I'm getting convicted because there's cross-examination of them witnesses. But you act
Right.
like there's 100 witnesses. Compare apples to apples, though, if we're going to do this.
Well, I mean, but I'm not going to jump to Trump just yet. But in that scenario, you would say chances are you're going to jail. A
Well, yeah,
hundred
because
people, whether you did it or not, chances are you're not. 100 people are going to sit down and say, "We saw Puff
chance,
Puff
ch-
do it," right?
chances are I'm going to get charged. Yes.
And convicted.
Well, that's the difference. You're not comparing apples. You're picking
Well,
100
that's how I
testimonies. Wait a
think you'll
minute,
say
Zeus. Hold
something.
on. You're using 100 testimonies, 100 eyewitnesses, and that's what you're comparing it to. That you're not comparing apples to apples
Well,
here.
well, it is similar because what does it say, for instance, you get people that were working very close with Trump telling on him, right? There's not really Democrats telling on Trump. These are Republicans. These are Republicans and other MAGA people telling on Trump. And it goes from the people at the bottom all the way up to Mike Pence. And you're in a situation where the vice president on down is all testifying that
You,
this guy broke the
wait a minute,
law.
Zeus. You don't know what they're testifying to. That's what you keep
Well,
saying that because but here's what you do. Oh, they question Mike Pence, and because Mike Pence doesn't speak highly of Donald Trump, you're assuming what Mike Pence said.
well, he's a witness
A witness to what? A witness for? You don't know what he witnessed though. He's a witness to what?
to Trump's crimes. That's why
No,
they
he's
wanted
not.
him as a
If
witness.
no,
That's
he's
why they
not
got
because
his testimony.
nowhere do you have any proof that Mike Pence said Donald Trump shared nuclear classified documents with anybody.
Well, no,
Nowhere do
no,
you have any proof of
no,
that.
no. I didn't say the nuclear. I'm just talking about in general. Mike Pence knows about the January 6th stuff, where Trump was trying to defraud
And
the
nor do
United
you know
States of
what Mike Pence
America.
has testified, nor do you know what he's testified to that neither. You have no clue what he's testified to.
But he's a witness, though, Sir
A
Puff.
witness to what though?
Huh? To Trump's crimes. That's what witnesses are.
No, that's just that you may use a witness they might be using Mike Pence just to say what did you tell Donald Trump that he should call off the people that he should get on there, and he might have said yes I did. You don't know what questions they ask him.
But it's fair enough to say position wise, Mike Pence was the vice president.
Well, certainly he's a vice president.
And the vice president's testimony carries a lot of weight as opposed to most other people's, right?
Nobody's. First off, you're moving it again. You're deflecting. You don't know what his testimony is. You're making assumptions that his testimony is against a crime. You're making an assumption.
Yeah, because it's in the indictment. Have you read
It's
that?
not.
Have you read the indictment? Any of them?
All of them.
Okay, so I take it you believe that everyone that's listed as a witness in the indictment, they're all making it up. Is that where you're at?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. And
Like for
again,
instance,
this is the part of the problem, Zeus, that you don't get. And this is why I call it satire, because you're smart enough to get this, and you are smart enough to get this. Forget Donald Trump, forget Joe Biden and every president after them. When you start setting a precedent in our country that we investigate people to find crimes instead of investigating crimes to find the person for the crime, you are now a banana republic. When you are now not innocent until proven guilty, and when you have everybody like yourself convicting someone every day, where do you get a fair jury? So let me ask you just one question, Zeus, and I got to go. If God
okay.
forbid, one quick question. God forbid,
Well,
if you
before
had
you
a
go, I
child.
gotta ask you a question.
Okay,
Before you
that's
go,
fine. That's fine.
don't just ask a question and then get up out of here,
I
Puff.
won't. No, I
I know
certainly
that's
won't.
what
No,
you like to do.
no, I do not. I certainly won't. So here, God forbid you had a child that got in trouble with the law. All right. And you had a choice of two jury pools. You had a jury pool of room that had never heard anything about your son's case, no facts, no anything, had heard nothing. You get to pick that jury, or you get to pick a room that's heard everything upside one down the other. Which jury would you pick to be the jury for your child?
It depends on what the crime was, Puff.
No, be honest, be real here. Any
Um,
crime, if your child's charged, it doesn't matter if your child is charged with a crime and you're getting to pick the jury. You're telling me you're going to pick the jury that has all kinds of information, or you're going to pick the jury that has no information, that a court of law gives them the information like it's supposed to be. You'll pick that one every time.
Can I explain my position on that? It's a tough question, but it's a position that I gotta take. Because I look at it like President Biden has a son like Hunter Biden who's being charged, correct? So I'm putting myself in that situation. And I'm also a man that believes people need to be held accountable. For instance, if my child did something that caused someone else to possibly lose their life, right? As much as I love them, I do think there needs to be accountability for that, right?
Nobody's saying no accountability. I said you got to
So,
pick a
so,
jury
so,
pool.
so listen, the jury that I would choose would be the one that's going to do their job the right way.
Okay. So
I don't
would
want
you?
nobody coming in there.
Okay,
I
good
don't
enough.
want anybody
Fair
coming
enough
in there
answer.
biased. What?
Fair enough answer, Zeus. Fair enough
Okay.
answer. So do you
Okay.
think a jury that's going to do their job would be the one that didn't hear anything about the case and let the prosecution present the case and hear the evidence and only the evidence of the prosecutor? Don't you think that's the one that's going to make the most accurate decision? Because they're not biased. They've not heard anything else. They don't have any other. They don't have. Yes, it is. And you know it is.
Have
And this
you ever
proves your
served on?
show. This proves your show is satire.
You ever been on a jury?
Yes.
Okay, so you already know that you got to go follow the rules of the juror. You can't bring outside influences in when you're doing that, and you have to
No,
make
you
your
can, but
decision. Listen, you
biases does. Okay, so let me give you an
what
example. Just like
you
when
have to
someone
make your
says something,
decision based
I'll give
off
you an
the
example.
evidence.
Yeah, again, but we're human, all
So,
right? And
so have
so
you?
we're
Wait, let
human.
me ask you this: Have you ever been manipulated on the jury?
Do what?
Have you ever been manipulated on the jury?
I've never had. Well, I'll take that. I've been
Because you're an
jury twice.
intelligent person, right? And you wouldn't
Yes,
let nobody cause
no,
you to
no,
wrongfully.
but
You
okay,
wouldn't let
but
no
I'll
one
give you an
cause you to
example, Zeus.
wrongfully.
I'll give you an example,
Would you?
Zeus.
Wait,
Okay.
wait, 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 wait. Would you wrongfully imprison somebody, Sir Puff? If you were.
Well, no, I wouldn't, but you got to let me
Oh,
follow up on the
okay.
question because
I
no,
just
you don't
wanted to
get to
make
answer
sure.
them. No, you don't get to ask that question just to get the answer to think it made your point. Because let me give you an example.
It did
I've
make
been
my
to two.
point.
Well, if you'll let me talk, I've been to two jurors that I didn't know anything about the case prior to. But one time I got called in for jury duty, and it was over an SA case, and I was asked questions and asked that so I would have biases because that kind of case is disturbing to me. I knew as a juror that I'm liable to have biases and not look at an open mind because I have a prejudgment against SA. So
Right.
that disqualified me as a juror. So
Mm.
that's proof that. So if you don't
So
have any information, it's hard for you to be biased.
and so with that, Sir Puff, I think a majority of Americans would do the exact same thing you did, which means either way it goes, you probably would have a reasonable jury
No,
upholding the
that's not
law.
true though.
It's a
That's just
jury
not
of your
true.
peers. So you think you're the only person that does that?
No, I did not say that. You like
Oh,
to do that. Zeus,
they're
at
the
the end of the day, you
they don't
can't make any reasonable
Sir
Zeus.
Puff,
You can't
Sir
make
Puff.
any
They
reasonable
don't
human.
just
Hold
go
on.
grab random people and put them on the
No,
jury. They
no, you
interview
can't
them, they
make.
question them, and then they select. You know that's how this works, Sir Puff.
Oh, yes, I certainly know how the
Okay,
jury
so
pool
why are
selected.
you
I
trying to
certainly know
give
you get
people
to.
this impression that random people get to be sitting on the jury? There's a
No,
process to vet
because
people.
you're giving the person the impression because jury pools are not supposed to have that. Why do you think they sequester juries? What's the reason for sequestering a jury?
There's a lot of reasons for doing it.
But the main reason is so they don't get any outside information to the court. They don't get any other information.
It could be for their safety.
No, it's mainly so they
Think
don't
about
hear
wait,
any
wait, wait,
other.
wait. In some cases, it is for their safety. Think about people like Donald
Okay,
Trump who openly
granted,
listen.
Zeus. God, I love it when you're losing. You hate it. So,
Think about
so
Donald Trump openly threatening the lives of these people with his social
who's
media
letting me
posts.
threaten?
Let's
Oh,
look at him
I
in their
heard Chuck
chat.
Schumer. I heard Chuck Schumer threaten judges. Yeah, with their
Okay,
lives.
Sir Puff, let me ask you a question. Seriously. You're very defensive of Donald Trump. Why is that?
No,
Why do you why do you feel
me
why do
and
you
you have
feel
had this.
why do you
No,
and wait,
and
wait,
I'll
wait, let me
clarify.
exactly why do
I will
you
clarify. What you've
why do
asked me,
you and
you gonna
your
let me answer?
well,
Are
I
you
want
gonna
to
let
make
me
sure
answer?
I ask it correctly. I don't think I got it out correct. Why do you and your friends day in and day out feel like it's your daily duty to defend Donald Trump's bad behavior and crimes?
But first off, you don't hear me ever defend Donald Trump. What you hear me defend is our law. What you hear me defend is innocent until proven guilty. What you hear me defend is contaminating jury pools, whether it's Joe Biden, whether it's Donald Trump. That's what, because they're not always going to be here. My grandkids and their grandkids are going to be here. And it's important for precedents that this country, that we don't investigate people for crimes. We investigate crimes to find people. That's what
But
you hear me argue day in and day out.
A lot of people don't believe that. When you say that, a lot of people don't believe that about you.
If you've not heard me argue anything other than that, whether
You
Donald
can
Trump's in
defend
the
it. You
equation
can
because he's
you
part
can
of the topic doesn't mean I'm defending Donald Trump. I'm defending the letter of the law.
I mean,
I'm
okay,
defending
so
the Constitution.
well, if you defended the Constitution, then you would have to also agree that Donald Trump lied and told people the election was stolen when it wasn't.
In his mind, he believes it was, so that doesn't make it a
But
lie.
the Constitution, right? And you believe when Mike Pence told him that Donald Trump wanted him to choose him over the Constitution. You do believe that, right? If your thing is I'm defending the Constitution, you and I must agree that Donald Trump is not one of those people that actually believes in that.
No, not true, because I factually know our Constitution gives our representatives to right to not certify state elections in Congress, and there were 100 representatives ready to give the reasons why, and they were not allowed to do that, and it went right to a vote.
Your Constitution gives you the right to not certify an election?
The Constitution gives you the right when the Senate is when the House is certifying the election, when they're certifying the election, gives you the right to stand up and object the certification and give your reasons, and you have a 10-day period to do that in. That's what was
Oh,
going on when they were taken out of chambers and put back in chambers. That's what was going on, and then when they came back
okay.
into
So
chambers, they didn't go back
I'm
into
going
that
to disagree
procedure.
with
They went
that.
straight to a vote.
I'm going to disagree with that. Does the Constitution also give you the right to come up with a scheme of fake electors?
No, and again,
Well,
that's an
what,
accuser. Nobody's been found guilty of that.
well, that's what happened with Trump, right? You remember the fake elector scheme, right? He had fake electors that didn't go through the regular process of, to be an authentic elector. They went through a fake process, and he had this scheme in place to take
Alleged.
the real ones out and swap them with the
Alleged.
fake ones. Is that in the Constitution, Sir Puff?
Alleged. Alleged.
That's what I mean when I say you feel like it's your duty to defend
No,
Donald
that's what
Trump.
I mean when you should be using the term alleged too, because currently it's factually alleged. Factually, I'm right.
So if let's go down the pathway that it's alleged, Sir Puff. I don't get to talk to you often, but this. I actually think what you're doing is satire. I actually think what you're doing is satire. Um, yeah, because there's just no way on God's green earth you could sit there wherever you're at and think that these things are allegations and that all of the details in there were somehow written by some sort of Hollywood director. You really think
Nope.
that? You think a
No,
Hollywood director is behind
no.
all of this?
Here's what I think, Zeus. This is where you don't get. It's not my right to, or should I think anything because I'm not a jury of his peers.
But you keep defending it. You
No,
say
I'm
you're a man
defending
of
the
law.
fact that
Listen,
I'm
you
defending the
keep
fact that
saying
y'all
you're a
keep
man of
convicting
law and
someone.
order.
I am
You say you're
only,
a
and I'll
man
say
of law and
again,
order, Sir Puff.
you're
And I
right, and
thought
I'm
you were,
defending that
and I
same
took your
law.
word for it.
And
I
I'm
took
defending
your
that
word
same
for
law,
it.
Zeus. I'm
Huh?
defending the same law. I'm defending the right to be innocent until proven guilty. And daily, y'all convict him every day, and he's not even had a
No,
trial. That's what I defend.
slow down there, cowboy. He actually does it to himself. I didn't tell Trump to tell these people the national security information. I didn't tell
You didn't,
Trump to
and
put,
you did. That's
I didn't
alleged. You
tell
don't know
Trump
that
to
he's done
I
that.
didn't tell Trump to
Again,
put
you're
him in
making an
January
assumption.
6th.
You have
I didn't,
zero proof of that. You have
huh?
zero proof of that statement.
Oh, so
Zero proof of that statement.
you think I actually told Trump to share national secrets?
You don't have proof that Trump shared national secrets.
We
None.
do. We
You
do.
do not.
I have more proof that you don't have.
You
You don't
can't.
have
I
any
don't have
proof.
to prove
You
that.
don't have
There's a
any proof.
difference.
You don't have any proof.
That's my point, Zeus.
Sir Puff,
I
you
don't
don't
have
have
to
any
prove
proof.
that you. I don't have to
Sir
prove
Puff.
that you didn't do it. You have to prove he did do it.
No, Sir Puff. Do you have any proof he didn't do it?
That's my
I
point I'm
guarantee you,
making.
Puff. I
You're
guarantee
making
you,
my
Puff.
case for me, Zeus. You're making my case for me. I
No,
don't have to have proof that he didn't do it. You have to have proof that he did do it.
Sir Puff, let me say this very clearly to you, right? I guarantee you, and I can bet you your bottom dollar that I got more proof he did it than you have that he didn't.
Again, you're missing it. I or no other American has to prove they didn't do anything. You must prove he did.
No. He has to do that with the defense he has to go into court with. When he goes to court, he has to have a defense. Only a
Okay, so
fool, Sir Puff. Please don't listen, ladies and gentlemen. Don't take Sir Puff's advice. Do not go into a criminal case with no defense and say the burden is entirely on the prosecution. That's the
it
worst way to
is.
go in, Sir Puff. Why would you advise him to do that?
Because
He
the
needs to
burden of
defend
proof is
himself.
on the prosecution, and you have no idea what his witnesses or what they are. You have no idea what his defense is. So because you don't know what his defense is, and it's an accusation, it's alleged, that's what it should stay, is alleged. And will you please let people know in here, will you let your guests know that I'm just an excited, happy guy, that I'm not angry, that me and you carry on, that I never get mad at you? Would you let your audience know that?
I don't think you're mad at me, and I know how you talk, ladies and gentlemen. This is how Sir Puff talks, but he's learning today, so please bear with him.
Oh, I'm
Please.
learning. I'm learning. I'm happy to be part of this satire show for so long. I mean, that's a privilege to be part of the best satire show on
Well,
TikTok.
Sir Puff, I want to thank you, all right, because I know you're a busy man.
I
Uh,
am.
I want to thank you because one thing I did get out of you is that you agreed that if Donald Trump really did share those classified documents, he committed treason, right?
Zeus, I've said it 1,000 times. If Donald Trump is convicted with a jury of his peers, I will stand with the jury and hold him accountable as the same.
Thank you. And you're not going to be one of these people that says the appeal, right? We're going to
No,
appeal it.
I will do what you're supposed to do as an American. If the jury says he's guilty until an appellate court says he's not. And if appellate court don't, well, hold on, wait, Zeus. So if I call, wait, no, hold on. If I call him guilty, at the jury says guilty, and I say, okay, he's guilty, and it goes to his right in appellate court, and an appellate court turns it over and says he's not guilty, then I'm also going to go with that appellate court because that's what you're supposed to do.
Okay. I get it. And that's what I mean when I say you're giving Donald Trump every opportunity.
No, that's your right for 3 appeals, sir. And the same thing for you. If you got convicted of something, I would hold you accountable that convicted. And if a jury, if an appellate court overturns your eviction, then I would go with that appellate court because that's how our system works.
Okay. And one last thing, because I do truly believe you're a brilliant person. In your opinion, right? Do you think any of the allegations or court cases that Trump has dealt with that he has going on, do you think there's any merit to any of them?
I think there has to be some.
Let's just take the E. Jean Carroll one, right? Where there was he was found liable, right? According to you, you're going to stick to it.
Yes, he's found liable. He's found liable of that, certainly.
Okay. So now that we know he's found liable for SA, and you told us earlier.
Well, no, he's not found liable for SA because they missed the acronym is incorrect.
No. He is found liable for that.
SA stands for abuse, and that's not what he's convicted for.
No, he was. So Sir Puff,
it's not assault. It was not assault. It's not.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes,
Go look at the charge. It doesn't say SA.
Sir Puff, I just want you to stick to whatever it is you agree to. And I know how you said earlier, SA is something that's very near and dear to you. You're sensitive about it. You went as far as to tell the people that was trying to select you to be a juror that you couldn't be a part of it because it means a lot to you. You remember that conversation?
That's correct.
All right. Your Donald Trump is somebody that's done that exact thing.
No, it's not. Nope, different. It's not. You like to label it that. That's not what it was.
Okay, sir.
It was not assault and it was not abuse. And it wasn't charged that way either.
Sir Puff, why did he have to end up paying $10 million? What do you think that was about?
Yeah, that's part of the defamation. That's part of the slander case.
What's the other part?
I'm saying that go look up the acronym for what he was. Because you like to change the acronym and make a new meaning to it when you don't have the acronym meaning to it.
No,
read the definition.
I'm listening to the stuff you're saying and I'm processing it so I can get a big picture of where you're coming from, right? That's what I do. And then I just pick bits and pieces of the things you're saying to make sure you understand how it looks to us. That's what I'm doing. I'm listening to you. You vocalized, you feel very passionate about SA. And the whole time you were telling me this, in my mind, I'm thinking he must know about Donald Trump's situations.
Because you are labeling it SA as assault, and that's not what the conviction was.
But do you see how this looks?
And it wasn't even a conviction, it was liable. Because if it was assault or abuse, it would be criminal, correct?
And not in this particular case.
Why? Assault and abuse is criminal.
Did you read this?
It is assault and abuse criminal, Zeus.
And I'm only bringing up the E. Jean Carroll one. There's other ones out there.
But answer that question: Is assault criminal?
In some cases, it is.
So is SA and I don't want to use the word. Is that a crime? Is it a crime?
You know, SA is a crime.
Okay, then why did he not charge criminally? He was charged civilly.
Because it was a civil case, perhaps.
Why?
That's something for you and Donald Trump to work out. My thing is this. Civilly speaking, the court made a decision, and it was by a jury, as you said earlier. Why
But not of
can't
a
you
crime.
stick?
But not of a crime. You're trying to. But you're trying to
It's
label it. That's my point. He wasn't convicted of a crime. He was found liable in a civil suit. He wasn't found guilty of any
you know, you
crime.
know, Sir Puff. I'm going to encourage you to actually stick to your words, please, because I'm a little concerned. I'm very concerned about you, Sir Puff.
And the
I really
statute
am.
didn't. The Dark Knight, the statute didn't expire. They changed the statute for a 1 year, especially for her case, to be able to even try it civilly. They made a special law that there was already statutes up just for this case.
Do you think? Do you think this woman, E. Jean Carroll? You think she made all of this up?
She said it on television. What are you talking about?
No, no. I'm asking you personally. Do you think this is all?
Do I believe? But she no. I believe she's a whack job. Yeah, I do.
So you think she made it all up?
Yeah, but she did say she made it all up.
Hmm. Well, I don't know what to say to you, Sir Puff. All right, but I think you're
Hey,
going to
man,
have a lot to
please, you
think
have a
about.
good day. I'm sure I know it's time for echo chamber guest again, and so it's okay. I
No, no,
appreciate
no,
the
no, no,
time.
no, no. I just think your facts are a little off because you won't
They're not
admit that Donald Trump SA'd that woman, even though
because he
you,
did.
even though the jury and they came back and they said he's liable. You won't, you
Because you
won't, you won't accept the same thing you said earlier that you would accept if a jury
no,
was involved. You won't do it in this case. And it involves SA, which was something you made clear to me you're passionate about. But when it comes to Donald Trump, you won't accept it. And this is why we're where we're at right now, Sir Puff.
it is. I would argue that your show is why we're at with all your satire all day. With your endless hearsay and your endless clippings and articles as if they're truth. And they're all assumptions, none of them fact based. All assumptions. How many things, Zeus, I can go back, how many things that have been news articles that have been proven over and over? Like, give you an example. When Donald Trump came out and said they spied on my campaign, everybody called every one of us a conspiracy. Oh, there they go. They're conspiracy theorists. Nobody spied on nothing. Come to find out they spied on his campaign, and while he was president of the White House, he was right the whole time. But you don't think about all them recants.
Sir Puff, I get it. You're frustrated about Donald Trump not getting a second term. I get it. But it's not going to change what's going on. I'm so sorry. Sir Puff, did you get a call? Ladies and gentlemen, did Sir Puff get a call? Sir Puff, going once, going twice. All right, he's gone. Sir Puff. You know, I mean, this is why I don't like doing the closet of truth and talking to MAGA. All right, this is why, because you listen to what's going on up there, and it's all the same, right? It's all the same, right, Sir Puff? You openly. Oh, thank you for the poll. Yes, there are supports. There is support out there for anyone that is dealing with SA. Thank you, moderators, for doing that. All right. You listen to MAGA, ladies and gentlemen, and it's the same thing. They're going to tell me every day what's wrong with this government, what's wrong with the country, that they're patriots, that they follow the law. And I listen to them. And then I say, well, when you said this, what about that? Oh, that doesn't apply all the time. All right, let's bring up somebody else, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a nice little razzle dazzle in the closet of truth. All right. HVAC.
Dude, after that long with that guy, I'm surprised he brought up two back-to-back oppositions, man. That's impressive on your part.
Oh
That
really? I'm just
shows.
having conversations, HVAC. Did
Well,
you agree with anything? Did you agree with anything he said?
I was only listening to the first part, but
Oh,
I
okay,
agree
okay.
pretty
Well,
much
what's
in
your
line
issue
with.
today? What's your issue today, HVAC? We can go that way. How about that?
Oh, my issue?
Yeah. Yeah, we're in the closet of truth. Is there anything you're trying to get clarity on, perhaps, or are you just stopping by to say hi? I like the stitching and the duets that you do with my videos. I mean,
They
I
do
wish.
get a lot of views.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wish you would use the powers that you have for good, though.
Well, I think that's just every Democrat confession is or accusation is a confession. So
Where'd you learn that line from, HVAC?
oh, we all learned every line from somebody. Would you agree?
To a certain extent, and others, like myself, we're ambidextrous up here, and we're a little more creative.
Well, that is definitely true. I agree with that. Like I see the thing about me is I listen to everybody. I take little bits and pieces of what makes them good and I conglomerate them into myself to be the most authentic person I could possibly be while using the things around me.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
So
Well,
see,
speaking of that, have you had time to think about some of the things we've talked about, HVAC? You know, a lot of people they want to make sure you're getting the truth when you come talk to Zeus, and that it's actually helping you and making you be a better person.
oh, absolutely. Look, every day I get to breathe on this earth, I get to be a better person, right?
Mm.
And then when I wake up in the morning, if I hadn't have been the best person I could be, then I hop onto Zeus's live and completely debunk him, and I feel much better about myself.
Now, there was a lie that you just said real quick. You said you debunked me. Is there something I got wrong?
Yeah, there's a few things you've gotten wrong,
Name
sure.
one. Name one.
Yeah, sure. That you think uh, right now that you think that Trump's probably going to go to jail.
Absolutely.
So that's one thing you've gotten wrong
Why?
because he's not going to go to jail.
How
It's
many
impossible.
felony charges is he currently
Oh, he
facing?
has a lot. You know what? It's looking bleak, right? But the man that climbed Mount Everest, it was looking tough. He didn't think he could finish. He had frostbite. All of his fingers were falling off. But he took the last couple of steps. He did what needs to be done, and that's all it takes, right there. You just got to get
Mm,
to the finish line.
mm. Well, that's a great story, but unfortunately, that's not what we're dealing with, HVAC. Here's the thing. The odds that Donald Trump is going to get out of all 91 of those felony charges and walk into the White House is very, very low. And if I were you, you got to prepare for that reality. Don't you think it'd be ridiculous? I'm going to be honest with you, HVAC. Even if I were a Trump supporter, I would never put all of my eggs in one basket in the hope and prayer that it all is going to wash away. Because at some point, especially if it's late at night and it's dark and you're by yourself, you have to have that honest conversation with yourself and say, there's a good chance that one of these charges are going to stick, right?
Hmm. Oh,
What?
absolutely. Look,
I mean, if
here's
you
the
don't
thing.
do that, you're not even preparing yourself for disaster. And you seem like a person that would prepare for disaster.
Right, because my whole life, the being and the fiber of who I am does not like hinge on Trump, right? What it hinges on is justice. What it
Mm.
hinges on is America being a better place. That
Now,
we save that we're the place you can go to for a safe haven, right? The country of the land of the
are
free
you
and the home
talking?
of the
Are
brave.
you talking about these United States of America or a different place on the earth? I'm
Wait,
confused.
are you not blessed to be in the position you are in right now?
Who, me?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Oh,
You
I got a
the
lot of
most
things I'm blessed.
handsome.
I
Aren't
got
you
a lot of things.
blessed?
I got a lot of things that I'm blessed, but my blessed might not be your blessed, perhaps, right?
Exactly, exactly. And
Okay,
that's the
so
point. In
so so.
America, we can all have our own blessings, right? If you want to be rich, if you want to be poor, whatever. If you want
But
to get
that's not true
indicted
for
and still run for
everybody. That's
president,
not true for everybody, right? And I think that's kind of where you and I part ways, right? Because we understand in this country, a lot of people don't get the same freedoms as other people. And there's a constant battle behind that, right? And so if you're a person of law, you're a law and order type of person.
naturally.
and
I was a
you
police officer. What do you think?
and you believe in justice?
Do I believe? No, right now I'm not believing in justice. That's the
Oh,
problem.
what? Oh,
That's the problem. Yeah, I'm
oh,
not believing in this crook DOJ or this crooked FBI, right?
When
Look
did
at the
it? When
past.
did the DOJ and the FBI become crooked in your lifetime? Was
Well,
it always like this, or did it happen
pro-
somewhere?
no, pretty much when they were created, right? Probably like the first, like maybe like the first few years, there was like that honeymoon stage where they thought they
Hmm.
were doing it good, right? And then the wrong person got in the wrong position, funded by the wrong people, and everything went to shit, right? And ask Martin Luther
Now we
King.
got to
Look,
keep it
hey, don't
clean,
ask me,
HVAC.
Zeus. Don't ask me. Ask Martin Luther King.
We got to keep it clean, HVAC. You know, if I was on the Dark Zeus account, I would
I,
do cursing. All right,
oh,
but
I apologize.
all right, but
Allegedly, don't say
yeah. We're on the
oh,
clean Zeus
I got
account.
you. I keep it
So
clean. I'm the cleanest guy on TikTok, you guys. Very
uh,
handsome as well.
all right. So in your
Okay, go ahead.
opinion, you're saying the DOJ and the FBI, they've always been corrupt.
I mean, not in my opinion. I mean, more likely in Martin Luther King's opinion, if you could ask him now, right? Based
Yeah.
off of the information that's
Was
come out.
was it corrupt when Trump was president?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
Why don't you think Donald Trump did
Why
anything
don't
about
you think
that?
they didn't go after Hillary?
Huh?
Why do you think they just swept the Hillary case under the rug?
Maybe she didn't do anything.
Yeah, maybe Trump didn't do anything.
Well, I got a lot of evidence that says he at least did something.
Name one piece of evidence that he did one thing right now. Your
Well, we
best
have,
piece of
like
evidence.
I said, we got 4 indictments, 91 felonies. We got
Oh,
a fraud case. We got a fraud case in New York, and we got a Stormy Daniels case. All right, in New York. I mean, there's a. What about Trump University? Right? What about the charity that he had? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Donald Trump is more corrupt than the FBI. Wouldn't you say?
based off of the FBI. That's like asking me, like, oh, yeah, that's like asking a woman, like, oh, I mean, you're saying your husband beat you, but based off of what he's saying, he says he doesn't beat you, and all of his friends say they don't beat you. Is
No,
it
that's
still
HVAC.
likely that
Yes,
he still gets beat?
yesterday HVAC. See, there you go. Yesterday we talked, and I was telling you how your logic model needs to be updated. There you go again.
Right, because I'm using well, I'm using the thing that you're going to most likely agree with me on, right?
No,
That
no,
you're,
no, no, no,
we
no,
both
no.
agree SA is a terrible thing, right?
No. You don't know how to do good examples of things, right? Because when you start trying to match things up, you know, you're supposed to be comparing apples to oranges and similar things like that, but you don't do things like that. You compare apples to pickup trucks and stuff like that. Your logic is way off.
Oh, okay. So can I only compare them to like you? How could I compare an apple to an orange? Yeah, they're the same size, but they're completely different things.
And that's how you got to treat them. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right.
Right, exactly.
You
So
if we're
that's why I
talking
use
one
all you got
subject,
to
let's
do is
stick
just
to
answer
that
the
one
question. Like,
subject.
if you answer the question correctly, right, you're going to look good.
No, that's not necessarily true. Because I'm going to give you an example of why that's not true. For instance, HVAC, let me ask you a question. Do you think Donald Trump should be held accountable for what happened on January 6th?
Oh, absolutely. That's why he's not going to go to jail for anything that he didn't do.
Right, but you believe he should be held accountable.
If there's accountability that he
Well,
factors into what happened, yes.
no, he's responsible for what happened.
He's responsible. What do you mean? Like what happened?
He summoned a mob to attack the Capitol and try to overthrow the government, remember?
But you have to prove that one point though, right?
Right.
What do you mean? What did he say?
So that's what I meant when I said, you know, when you were saying earlier that, you know, if you just say the right thing, it'll be okay. In this case, it's not, because look at you. You won't even say the right thing.
Because you're not asking the right question.
Well, what's the right question? I
Right.
didn't know.
If you were to ask me like, oh, like if you're trying to reduce that logic about the January 6th, then you might like equivocate like, do you think it was okay, when something terrible happens to the government and innocent lives are lost, right? Based off of like someone like say Mustache Man giving an order to do a certain thing. Do you think that would be okay?
Okay, so
Right? You see what I'm doing there?
there you go again. Now you said
No,
something
no, no.
about a lot
That's
of
that's what
lives.
I'm saying. You should say. Don't
You
get
said
confused.
something about a lot of lives being lost, right?
Right,
By
perfect. Exactly. It weren't. I
right.
mean, yeah.
Right. So let's use that as an example. Would you say if a leader did something wrong that caused millions of people to lose their life, that would be wrong?
I agree.
Okay. What if there was a leader out there that lied to the people about the dangers of COVID-19 and it cost millions of people their lives? Wouldn't you say that leader was wrong?
If
Here we go.
you're, oh, the
Here we
only,
go. Here we go, HVAC. Here you go. Here you go. Watch.
no, you're
You see?
doing, so Zeus, you're getting better, but you're still not like, look, I've been doing this, like, you've been entertaining, I've been debating. There's a difference, right? I think you're just now kind of like starting to debate. So but
I'm
you
not even
might be
debating.
right.
I'm
I'm not saying you're
talking to
wrong.
you.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but the difference is, right? I'm going to take this is, you're using a principle, right? But I'm going to have to ask you, um, what studies do you have that prove that locking down a country saves lives?
See, so HVAC. This is where we get into the conversation about who's doing what and how do I know what I know and how do you know what you know. All right. First of all, if you want to go read studies, you're more than welcome to go look up whatever peer-reviewed journals you want to look up, all right? Why do I got to do that? I'm having an
Wait, what?
honest conversation with you about a leader named Donald Trump who you know lied to the American people. And if you don't know he lied to the American people, then you're really not, we can't even talk about anything else because
Wait,
you're
so
behind.
the problem is though, then you're just moving the goalpost because you were first saying he caused an insurrection, and now you're just saying he simply lied. So
No,
I
you
mean,
brought
which
up
is
you tried to bring up Mustache Man and how he cost millions of people to do, and I said, well, let's not go that far. Let's stick to
right?
Donald Trump, right? And I've given you several examples of what Donald Trump has done. All right,
Such
whether
as,
it's
what did he do?
January,
He
whether it's
said march
January 6th.
peacefully down to the Capitol and make your voices heard.
Okay, and that's your opinion, but that's not really what happened.
No, that's what he said. That was on his, it's on his Twitter right now. Like you
Right,
could,
right,
we could
right. And there's over 1,100 people in prison right now.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, what
Yeah,
they
yeah,
did was
you have
terrible.
to
They
agree
shouldn't
because
have
if
done
not,
that.
you're not
Those
in
people
reality.
should be locked up forever, right? Based on like whatever.
And,
Not
and,
meaning that.
and I'll go one step further. Over 400 of them attacked the police. And they also are the same people that like to say they back the blue.
Fine. I agree. Like
And they're
whatever they
Trump
did,
supporters.
if they broke the law, they did something illegal, then send them to jail. No
No, no,
problem.
no. HVAC, we're past if they broke the law.
You're right. They've been sentenced. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, so if these people broke the law for Donald Trump, right? We're getting somewhere. They broke the law for Donald Trump, right?
Wait, did the people looting the stores during the BLM riots break the law for the BLM?
See, and
No,
there we
it's a
go again,
question. It's a
HVAC.
question.
See, HVAC. You know what, HVAC? We're gonna have to check in again, my friend. All right, you did good. You did good. You're getting better, but you got a lot more. You got a lot more work to do.
Remember, guys, they love
If
to
you
use
could,
projection. Love you,
and by the
Zeus.
way,
Have a great
by the
night. You're
way,
very,
HVAC.
yeah,
By the way, if you're gonna
yeah.
come in and say I'm a great debater and you call yourself that, try not to pivot so much, all right? If we were playing basketball, I'd take you to the right and left and you couldn't stop me, okay? Because we know what your game is. We figured you out, HVAC. Come on with some new game, all right?
I'll do my best. Thank you for
All
having me,
right?
sir. You're a
Stop
gentleman and a
deflecting.
scholar, Zeus. Thank you, sir. Have a great night.
You're welcome. Stop
Love you
deflecting so much,
guys.
all right? Ladies and gentlemen, let's give HVAC a round of applause. Yeah. See, and I want to know. I want to make sure you all understand what's going on here. We gotta listen to them, all right, and then see what they do when they get put in a tight squeeze, right? When they get put in that tight squeeze, you know what they do? They want to start pivot. They want to start changing the topic on Zeus, and I know how to make them do it. But again, if you come in the box and you tell me you're for justice, I want to hear you talk about some real justice. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a few more people to talk to. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. There's family and friends here. How do we deal with all of this? All right. How many of you want to let's go. Well, let me see. First of all, let me see. I haven't heard from Poker Dad in a while. Poker Dad, what's up? What's going on?
Greetings.
Greetings.
I won't take
What's
too
going on?
much of your time. You know me, I'll be in and out with no questions asked.
Okay.
That being said, I want to make sure we have a clear understanding. You know where I stand in when it all comes, to the actual political affiliation. You know
Yeah.
where I stand on that.
I have a good idea.
Okay. That being said, I want to ask you a question.
Let's go.
If, let's say, you were the chairman of the board for McDonald's Corporation,
Okay, I'm listening.
and you're hiring a new CEO to run McDonald's Corporation because, hey, he has a good track record, knows how to make money, knows how to, make the brand, able to bring the brand up, so on and so forth.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, that same person is in debt with Wendy's, with Burger King,
Oh.
Jack in the Box,
Oh.
In-N-Out Burger,
Oh.
in debt.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because this person has a certain level of success, but it's because he accrues debt from these types of places through business dealings, so on and so forth.
Correct.
Right? Would you
Right.
hire this person to be the CEO?
Absolutely not.
Doesn't matter how long he's been doing it, what his experience is, any of the above.
No, and an H, no.
Okay, that being said, why would we do that with our president, commander-in-chief?
I wouldn't, but we do have a segment of the population that will do that. And that's the kind of the thing right here, right?
Well, and that's what the problem here is. The average person, no matter how smart they are, does not understand how deep this person is in debt when it comes to the hierarchy of actual financial wealth in this world. He has the responsibility to fill the pockets of those around him. I can't ever trust every decision he would ever make in office.
Wow.
Because there may be an ulterior motive or reason why he would be doing something other than what's right for the American people. On
That's
top
true.
of his inability of taking care of the social issues in this country.
Okay. Right. He's not a good leader is what you're saying.
He's a dangerous leader.
Well, you're not getting no lies detected from me, but at the end of the day, I hear he's doing good in the polls, right? So how do you explain that?
Well, he's very good when he sees people working on the polls. He throws a little money at them. He gets to know them. They have a little, quiet time. They have a little fun on the side, and then they sue him later on.
Oh, so you don't trust the poll numbers?
No, what I'm saying is the only polls he's doing well on are the ones that have single moms.
I saw what you did when you did what you did, Booker. That was actually quite clever. That was really clever. All right.
So, but that being said, I appreciate your time, Zeus. Long time no talk.
Yeah.
I look forward to hearing you, and
right.
I'll move on and let you do the biddings of your kingdom.
All right. Thank you so much, Poker Dad, for coming in and keeping it straight. No lies detected. You know how we like to do it over here on this side of town, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, that's Poker Dad. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. Who do we have next? Ladies and gentlemen? All right. Going once. How do you say your name?
Hey,
Nimi?
I'm here.
How do you say your name?
Nimi.
Nimi. All right. Welcome, Nimi.
Nimi.
How are you doing? Nimi. All right. Nice to see you. What's
I'm
going
doing
on?
good. I don't know. The Puff had me all in a tizzy.
Oh, Puff?
But the kingdom's not a courtroom.
Yeah. Right. Tell him. So you heard?
And I see.
Huh?
Well, I see where they're going to go next. Where they're going to move the goalpost next, and he did it. He says now Trump has 3 appeals, so we can't consider him convicted until his 3rd appeal.
You see how they do that, right? I mean, they get in here and they explain to me how they're trying to protect the Constitution, how they believe in law and order, and he even gave a nice little emotional plea when it came to SA. You heard that part?
Yes.
And he literally gave me what I needed to bring it all full circle and say, now listen, you got this guy named Donald Trump who's right in the situation you just said you stand against. What are you going to do? And what did you say? 3 appeals? He wanted 3 appeals to get to the point.
He wants 3 appeals. Now, I want to. There's a lot of people that are sitting in jail right now waiting for appeals. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So do you think while those people are in jail, the people on the outside are sitting there going, well, they really are innocent?
No,
right?
no. And
No,
then
it doesn't work like that. And he said the burden was on me or on the prosecution to prove everything. Trump doesn't got to prove anything, right? You remember that?
That's right.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, I mean, listen, he's right. He's right. He's innocent until he's proven guilty. That's true.
Right.
But we don't have to prove him guilty here. You know,
we don't.
These prosecutors, you know, they put a case together, and I don't remember what exactly the percentage of conviction is, but it's pretty high, and it's because they do
98%.
Yeah, about 98%. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
97, 98%. It's not a good look. And out of the 91 that he has, you would be a fool to not at least prepare for one of them to stick. Right?
And all I have to say is for HVAC, I just want to get on one of these lives and I want to quiz him about HVAC.
Oh, he goes live. Do you follow him? He goes live.
I don't follow him, but I see him pop up all the time. But I just want to. Yeah, I have a feeling that he doesn't.
Huh?
He doesn't know HVAC any better than he knows politics.
Exactly.
Anyhow, that's all I had to say. I listen to you all the time. You have a great show.
Thank you so much. You know, I try my best to keep it educational and entertaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
All right, Nimi. Well, listen, thank you so much.
All right,
I'll give you a follow. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get.
Yeah, I'll follow.
What was that?
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get Nimi.
Thank you.
You know, we got some dissension in the comment section, amongst MAGA. I see. You're welcome, Big C. I do these live so that people can really see what's going on out here in the United States of America, all right? These are real people getting in the box, talking to Zeus, right? I normally don't do this, but, it's Friday, and I want to let people know this is what I deal with in my DMs. You got a lot of these Trump supporters. They're reaching out, and they swear to God that they're right. But, sometimes you got to take these conversations and go straight to TikTok Live. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Who do we have next? CEO Common Sense. Welcome.
Oh, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here just a little bit. Not your last guest, but the guest right before that.
Uh-huh.
You guys were talking about people being in debt, right?
Yeah. That was Poker Dad. All right, yeah.
Do you know anything about like investment real estate or people buying properties, flipping them?
No. I've heard about things like that, though. What are you trying to get at? I know people who do that. You do that?
I would say, what's that?
You do that? Is that what you do?
I do. And so you never use your own money.
Right.
So what does that mean exactly? So like when you are trying to get a property, you don't use your own money. What do? You
get a loan.
That's interesting. And when you get a loan, the second you sign that and you get that money, what does that make you? Or what does that entail?
Doesn't that mean you're going into debt?
Exactly. That's all I needed. Have a good day.
Okay. I don't. I guess I passed your test. All right, let's give CEO a good round of applause. Yeah, yeah. I guess he's saying Donald Trump is going in debt. I think that's where I'm at with it. All right. And he is in debt. He's in debt to McDonald's for sure. Look at his weight. All right. What do we got? It's Raylan. How do you say that?
Yeah, it's Rayland.
Raylan. All right. How are you doing?
So, doing great. Great show, by the way. I try to watch as much as possible. I just joined, followed. So, I like what they were talking about. Being a person who's in real estate, I can
Okay.
comment on what the gentleman just said a second ago, and just to let you know, a lot of people will be surprised when they're not approved for these loans because they have too much debt, right?
Oh,
So, technically, it depends on how you play it, but I think in this situation, you can have too much debt. You can be over leveraged. There's a word called over leveraged,
mm,
right? And when you're
right,
over leveraged, you don't have enough money to pay the light bill, but you have three properties,
right.
that you own. So I just wanted to comment on that a little bit. Then the other thing I wanted to ask you is, what
Thank
is your
you.
thoughts? What are your thoughts? Oh, you wanted to add something to that?
No, 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 no. That's true. Those are all true, right? Just because you got a line of credit doesn't mean you should always utilize it because you can't, like you say, end up in a situation where you're over the barrel and you can't do anything about it, right?
Absolutely. And then I wanted to know your thoughts and maybe others' comments on the press conference Trump made, where he was saying, the people, the smash and grab folks, talking about, unaliving them. I don't know, SHOT. I don't know if I can say that word, so I'll spell it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I know the one.
If you're caught, running out of a store with something that, what are your thoughts on that, or what have you been
Uh,
hearing on that topic?
my thing is every MAGA accusation is truly a MAGA confession. I think he's talking about himself at the end of the day. I think personally it'll be a bad idea to do that, right?
Well, that's judge and jury, right? Like,
Yeah.
so, yeah, the point of that is, that it's a back to the BLM stuff, right? It's a culture war. It's a dog whistle, right? And it's saying that, we'll be the judge and jury, and the judgment for stealing is SHOT, right?
Well, it's so easy to say it like that, because they call what those people are doing stealing, but they ain't calling what Donald Trump is doing stealing. You get what I mean? Think
Right.
about it. This man has been a serial fraudster. He's been committing fraud his entire lifetime. What Donald Trump is basically saying is we should do what he say we should do to those people stealing stuff that costs a couple $100. What do you think we should do to his behind?
Right. Street level and then white collar. And
It
there's a
don't matter.
different judgment for that, right?
The money he's stolen has taken lives. If you really
Absolutely.
add
Yeah.
it all up, those millions and millions and millions of dollars that he's stolen, that's cost people their livelihood. What should we do to a man that paints orange makeup on himself, fake hair, wears the same suit, and lies and grifts anyone he comes around? All right. What should we do to them?
Right. What
Goes
should God do
bankrupt,
for me?
yeah.
I
Right.
like your analysis, but your show's great. I really appreciate just listening to it. So keep up the great work. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And I appreciate the question, because it's a good one. And so any of the Trump supporters, their thing is this. Their thing is this. Donald Trump is going to prison right now, and they're terrified. So what do? They start talking about all the other stuff they can talk about, because to talk about Donald Trump would be for them to have to admit that Donald Trump is guilty and they themselves are guilty. You know what I mean?
1,000.
And they don't want to. So if he goes up here and says something stupid, oh, we should do this to them. He needs to take into account all the things he's done. What should we do to a man that's SA'd a woman, actually over 26 women? What should we do to him?
Oh, that's a great mirror you're holding up there. I didn't think
Yeah,
about that. That's
yeah,
that's gigantic, right?
a man that lied to us about COVID-19.
The party of family values, right?
Yeah, the hypocrites. What should we do to this guy who's demanding that people who are looting, taking maybe a couple $1,000s, he says they should lose their life. What should we do to the man that's taking way more than that and doing more than that? Nasty. So that's my thought. I don't have the answer, but I recommend Donald Trump don't say anything like that. I recommend he don't say anything like that.
It's out there. So it's always scary because he's looking for the next big, wall, speech. And I
Yeah.
think this is where he's going with it. It's as far as extreme as he can possibly, muster up at this point. And it's just crazy at this point.
Yeah.
So thank you for letting me join and keep up the great work.
You're welcome, and have a great rest of your weekend, all right? All right, listen up, MAGA. I see you in here, and there's some dissension. You know what it is.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country,
and we know MAGA hates
if you're
our
not
country.
happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
That's right.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
That's how I feel about MAGA. I mean, it's a disgusting thing to think that Trump supporters feel they have the right to tell people that they are protecting the Constitution and that they believe in the rule of all. You know, President Joseph Biden, he was right when he said this.
MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people. They refuse to accept the results of a free election. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. And they see their MAGA failure to stop a peaceful transfer of power after the 2020 election as preparation for the 2022 and 2024 elections. MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards.
Exactly. MAGA forces. And that's what we're going up against, ladies and gentlemen. MAGA forces. And they're on their heels right now. If you haven't been watching, a lot of things aren't going their way. They're sick to their stomach right now. They're eating McDonald's and they're crying right now. And that's exactly what I want MAGA to be doing, in their feelings. All right. All right. Bringing up our next panelists. Yeah, they're MAGA babies, Reggie. You know how we call them. And Annette, welcome. Happy Friday. How are you?
Friday. I'm up.
You up looking nice and saucy on a Friday evening. Where are you going?
I was at
Oh,
work.
you woke up
I
like
work.
this. All right, I get it. You woke up like this. Oh my God! Wow.
No. There was a brush. There was a brush involved. I'm like, toothpaste. No, I actually, okay, so the HVAC guy
Oh, HVAC.
talking about choice. Like, people have a choice to be as privileged as they want to be,
Right.
and they have a choice to be rich or poor. Okay, I was born into poverty. My parents were very, very poor. Like, food stamps, like $2 for $1 cookies for a week, like sugar sandwiches.
Right.
Poor. American poor. Not like destitute, like in the jungle, but American very poor.
Right.
I had no choice in that matter. I have a special needs child. I don't know how much she'll be able to grow and to do
Right.
for her life. With Social Security in America, the maximum amount of assets any one person can own is $2,000.
Oh, that's not enough.
It's a travesty. If they go over $2,000 or if they exceed a certain amount, I think it's like they make more than $400 or $500, they lose all of their benefits for that month, which means any food assistance they would get or any kind of like monetary assistance.
Right.
I do not get anything. I support my children by myself. Like, I get like a medical subsidy
Right.
above and beyond my like insurance from work. But like, I don't get any help. I do it myself.
Wow.
I get that I'm privileged. I have a career, I have an education, I worked hard, but the whole bootstraps mentality is a joke.
Huh.
You're going to tell me everybody in that trailer park wants to be there, that's their choice? That there's no such thing as like hereditary and generational poverty and illness and
Tell 'em.
toxicity?
Tell them.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy that people think that it's just a flip of the switch. All you have, just go to school and pay attention. What happens if you have to go home and work a job? What happens if you have to go home and take care of a sick parent?
Right.
What happens if you have to go home and take care of siblings?
Right. This
People have no sense at all, and it drives me bananas.
Yeah, I mean, and this is why it's important for you to keep getting your message out here and reminding folks who are a little removed from these kind of realities about what's going on and how you're dealing with it, right? Because this is the stuff they don't understand, and this is why they tend to think they're under attack when we start talking.
But that's the thing. Half of these people, literally half of MAGA, is sucking on the teat of the government, is on some kind of Medicaid or medical assistance, is getting some kind of welfare or government subsidy, or is getting some kind of like military benefit.
Yeah.
What
And
is
and,
wrong
and
with
and they're
them?
willing and they would give it all up to get Donald Trump back. Isn't that crazy?
It is the saddest story. It is the story of the wealthy Caucasian woman that is willing to ignore the misogyny and the hatred and the abuse to enjoy the racism. It is ridiculous. And it's a sad, sad story. Yeah, you totally deserve that.
Thank you. It is a sad story, but it's one that keeps being told over and over, right? And then it's these same people that will somehow pretend like they're victims,
Yes.
right? They
Mhm.
watch all this suffering go on, they enable it in a lot of these cases, and then they turn around and go, well, why is this all happening to me? Why is everyone upset with me? Really? You're shocked?
Mhm.
You're shocked? Yeah, the
Yes.
light bulb just went off. You're right, Danger Zone. Yeah. This
Yeah.
message is for you, Danger Zone, as a matter of fact. This is
Yeah.
why this huh?
It's wild to watch how just completely just dense. Some people are just extraordinarily dense. There's almost an impossibility for anything new as far as information or fact or just environmental awareness to like, make its way through.
Hmm.
And it's very sad.
Yeah.
And I just hope our children are the generation to save us.
Yeah. I do hope so. I do hope so. But they got a lot of work to do. They got to get stronger and be able to really embrace the battle. This isn't
That's why
going to
we're
be,
here.
huh?
We're not handing over the mantle. We
Oh, we're
got
not.
them.
Yeah.
I know I got my kids all day long. I
Yeah.
have them. I have
Yeah.
their back.
Well, make sure they don't end up, and I know you won't, but part of the issue, and I think I've often asked myself, how does a person become radicalized by Donald Trump? And after I read, Cassidy Hutchinson's book, it all started with that TV show Apprentice for a lot of these Trump supporters. That Apprentice show, it did a number on the minds of these MAGA. And they
Who's
were, huh?
I'm sorry. I saw the comment like "stop crying." I was like, "Who's crying?"
Oh, I don't think
Sorry,
they're
it
I
was
don't think
all
they're
passion.
talking to
My
you.
apologies.
Yeah. No, I don't think they're talking to you, but a lot of these people out here, these MAGA folks, they got a superhero complex going on. Donald Trump is a superhero to them. They never grew up. They never grew up. All right? These
Yeah.
these ladies out here that support Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the father they never had. They want to be like Ivanka.
Mm,
Some deep stuff is going on in there. They need to get therapy and some counseling ASAP.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
again, it's very sad. It's going to take a lot of I hate to say the word, but I mean that it's the most fitting. This will take a lot of deprogramming to get people to understand that there is objective truth,
Mm-hmm.
that there
Yeah,
is more going on in the world than just what's outside or inside their door. Um,
exactly.
and we are, I mean, for better or worse, like I have friends that are Trump supporters. Do I think they're absolutely freaking insane? Yeah. But when I talk to them, we have much more in common
Yeah.
than we have that's different. I mean, we have like a
Mm.
huge ideological split, but
Wow.
we
I
all
mean,
want
I,
the
I,
same
I I
American.
do. I have friends that are Trump supporters, and I have relatives that are. That's why I have the ability to just really sit here and have these conversations with them, because this is stuff that initially I thought they were making up, but now that I've been on TikTok, and social media a lot more. No, there's a community of these people, and they believe this stuff, and they're circulating it like wildfire. All right. So I said, well, what I'm going to do is make sure when it comes my way, we shut it down. Right.
That's right.
You got to shut it down so the lies don't get a life of their own and start taking off and going places they shouldn't be.
100%.
Yeah.
Stop letting the lunatics control the narrative. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. You got to.
Thank you as always.
Yeah. Yes.
I appreciate you having me up.
You're welcome.
Have a great night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful Annette. On a Friday. Oh my God, listen. On a Friday, look at that. See, MAGA, the jig is up. If you haven't noticed, the jig is truly up for you. All right? All across the United States of America, people are reaching out to all of us Democrats, and saying, we're tired of Trump. We're tired of MAGA. And even MAGA, they don't even want to talk about Donald Trump anymore. Every time I talk about Donald Trump, they get uncomfortable. All right? Because I remind them of who they are deep down inside. I'm not going to let you walk around and act like this is Peter Pan, MAGA. I don't ever want to grow up. That's what they say. I don't ever want to grow up. I want to be a kid. Absolutely not. You get into this live and you start listening to what we're talking about, there's only one way for you to go, and that's up. Unfortunately, you have to grow up, you Trump supporters. And if you don't grow up, guess what? You're going to go to jail or what? Hell! You can talk about President Biden all you want, MAGA. And that's why I put him right here, because he deserves to get a round of applause. First of all, let me go ahead. Biden definitely deserves a round of applause. For him to be able to have beat Donald Trump in 2020, took his job, right? Sent Donald Trump packing, all right? And to be doing what he did to get this country back on track. Where it was headed was dark and dangerous. This guy, Donald Trump, shut the country down. Barack Obama gave him a country that was in good shape. And Donald Trump, in typical fashion, because we all know he's a fraud, he has never done anything honorable in his life. He almost ruined this nation with him and his supporters. All right. But good thing President Biden came in and said, you know what? We're going to reopen this country. We're going to get Americans vaccinated. We're going to get some black women in the government. All right. Kamala Harris, Ketanji Brown. He may have packed the Supreme Court, all right, to attack women's rights to reproductive freedom, but we're going to pass some executive orders to help combat that, all right? We're gonna provide some student loan debt relief to students, all right, so that they can start planning for their future. This is what President Biden did. He studied under President Barack Hussein Obama, ladies and gentlemen, all right? So he learned from one of the best. He worked in government for over 40 plus years. Donald Trump was no match to President Biden, and MAGA knows it. You can be in your feelings and cry all you want, MAGA, but it ain't going to change a thing. All right. Attacking. What do you want, champ? What do you want? You already came up here to talk to Zeus. What's going on, Attacking? What do you got?
Yeah, well, I'm going to lay out some facts now. I'm listening to a couple idiots.
What is it?
You know how they talk about Joe Biden saying this and Joe Biden saying that, right?
Right.
Okay. Let's lay out what Donald Trump has said. On the bus, he said you could grab women by the private parts.
Correct.
On the bus, he said he moved in on Nancy O'Dell, taking her out for furniture. He tried to score on a married woman, struck out.
Right, I remember that. He moved in on her like the B word.
Right. He says that he pops a Tic Tac in his mouth when he sees a pretty girl because he moves in on like a magnet.
Yeah, disgusting.
So all these things that Donald Trump has said, they don't care, but they care about what Joe Biden says. Now, Puff Puff and HVAC. Have you guys read the jury's form where they said, number one, the judge placed out, number one, did Donald Trump grape E. Jean Carroll? Number 2, did Donald Trump S.A. E. Jean Carroll? See,
Right.
the jury forum, they marked, check mark, yes, he S.A.'d her. Then they put a dollar amount.
They know this.
Now, thing is this. Donald Trump has said everything out in front to everybody of what he has done.
Yes.
He has taken the documents. He's hid the documents. Puff Puff, in regards to Donald Trump showing nuclear program information to people who are not qualified or given the classification of C documents, that is in the indictment, where he showed somebody information that did not have the clearance. Then the audio came out to show what corresponds with what's in the indictment to what Donald Trump says as he's waving a piece of paper around. Now, you're going to say, no, Donald Trump said that he just showed a piece of paper. That's not what Donald Trump said. Because if Donald Trump was just showing a piece of paper, a newspaper, he would say, hey, I want you to pretend that this is Iran information that Milley put together for me. But that's not what he said. He says, this is information that Milley put together or whoever put together for him, and it shows this, blah, 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 blah. So he didn't fake that. That's there. That's real information.
Yeah.
Donald Trump assaulting women? 26 women came out and said he did exactly what he did. Donald Trump said that he walked into the dressing rooms of underage teens. Said it on Howard Stern show. Models came out and said he did these things. All these indictments that Donald Trump says, and then you had the other guy come up and say, did you ever study real estate? Did you ever do this? Donald Trump said that he inflated and deflated his property values depending on what he was trying to do. He told the truth as he's screaming about the court case in New York.
Oh. His licenses are being revoked and his assets are being dissolved. Attacking.
Right.
I mean, these people, everything you're saying is spot on and it's true. These people know this, attacking.
Exactly.
But the issue we're dealing with is they don't want to accept it. Right?
No, they don't. And then in regards to holding Donald Trump accountable for January 6th, well, HVAC, you want to lay it out? All relative information. If Donald Trump didn't lie to his followers that he lost the election because it was stolen, there wouldn't have been a big mass meeting with the Trump followers at January 6th. And he wouldn't have tweeted, oh, come to the ellipse, it's gonna be fun, or whatever he said. You have every person who worked for him coming out and said that he did these certain things. Republicans, under oath, Bill Barr, Cassidy Hutchinson, his daughter, Jared Kushner, Steve Miller, all these people who worked for Donald J. Trump, all under oath, said that he did these certain things and sat for 3 hours watching the attack on January 6th. So, for the unaliving of 7 people of January 6th, the beating of 140 cops, things that Donald Trump caused, he should be held accountable for the beating and unaliving of the people on January 6th. Because if Donald Trump didn't lie to his followers, the followers wouldn't have been there on January 6th. They wouldn't have attacked the United States Capitol building, and so on. There's an action and a reaction to everything that is going on with Donald Trump. In regards to Mar-a-Lago and the documents, in regards to Stormy Daniels paying Mike Cohen the $130,000 that he paid,
Right.
The RICO charges. By the way, for all you people that still think there was mass voter fraud, every attorney that Donald Trump worked with that placed court documents saying there was fraud or going to the courts have lost their law licenses. Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, Lynn Wood, John Eastman, putting together documents to overturn a free and fair election. Oh, and by the way, in regards to the fake electors, HVAC, hey, guess what? When you sign fraudulent documents and try to submit them to the government, that they're legit, when it's not even on the actual headers of that state that you're doing, and you make up your own document, that is fraudulent. That is fake electors. You have Arizona, Kelly Ward sitting at a table writing all these fake electors and trying to overturn the elector. John Eastman's memo trying to change the process.
Get him attacking!
Mike Pence had one job and one job only, and it's to count the votes. That's
all right,
it.
Attacking, that's enough.
Sorry.
All right. I got it. But good job sending the message to me.
I'm sitting here boiling going.
I might have to bring you back up if we get a little heat in the kingdom. All right.
Yeah. Okay. I'll drop. I'll put some more ammo in my belt.
Yeah. Please go reload.
All right.
Go reload. I know you hit somebody several times out there. I'm pretty sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Attacking a round of applause. I know we hear somebody. So now that Attacking has stated all those facts, there's no reason we should be confused about what's going on, all right? So nobody get in the box and start lying. I don't want to hear it. All right. All right, let's go. I see you, those of you, I'm going to get to you. We're going to kind of go back and forth a little bit. All right, who do we got next? Strong and who? Strong and Free. Free. What the heck is that?
You said in who? I had to say in free.
Oh, wait a second. How old are you, Strong and Free? That sounded like a kid.
32.
Oh, okay, 32. All right. Well, there's a lot going on back there, Strong and Free.
What's the debate about? You don't really have one of those clout trapping titles behind you. I just see Joe Biden.
Yeah, you know. Is there a lot of... What's all that noise, Strong and Free?
Oh, that's my washer.
Okay, you want to come back when it's not so loud, Strong and Free?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Come on back. That was a lot of noise, Strong and Free. Oh my God. Ooh, I mean, that was a lot of noise. You got to know what we're talking about too as well. All right, we're going to bring up the next guest, ladies and gentlemen. Strong and Free. Listen, that was some wild stuff. All right, Touch of Health, I hope. Thank you so much. All right, Purple Haze, greetings. Purple Haze. Purple Haze, going once, going twice.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right, yeah. Oops, I slipped, fell, and ended up in a Zeus Live. It happens all the time. Trust me, I know this. I've been there, done that. All right, Poetivity, welcome.
Welcome.
I
mean, thank you.
You're
I mean,
welcome.
it's not welcome to MySpace, but it kind of is. I'm really confused, and I thought maybe Zeus could help me.
Okay, let's talk.
I mean, I thought all my life that I grew up in a really strong country.
Oh.
And I'm like old, like, I'm old.
Right.
And
you're doing fine. Don't go that far now. That's a little extreme.
Well, except that like I grew up thinking that we had this big strong country with this big strong military and this big strong economy and lots of people who believed and were dedicated to freedom and justice and all that stuff.
Right.
And turns out all of it, all this time has been dependent on Donald J. Trump.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep for not for a majority of Americans though, right? Just for a certain number of Americans, right?
Well, yeah, no, apparently, according to them, if he is not president, then the entire country falls apart.
And
Like,
see, those people that say that, there's something wrong with their minds. I'm being honest with you. You know, they got a psychological disorder. You know, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist. I can't quite diagnose it. What we refer to it at over here is a MAGA demon, right?
they have a
Lot
MAGA demon.
Yeah, these folks out here, they are possessed with a MAGA demon. No matter how many times they go to church, no matter how many times they read their Bible upside down and backwards, that demon is raging inside of them. And what it's causing them to do is whatever is right, they do the exact opposite.
Are they like gremlins? Like Trump threw them in the pool or something?
Mm-hmm.
And they
Yeah.
just became these, I mean, they went from those cute, cuddly little things that sang to you to turning into
Yeah.
gremlins.
Like some werewolves. Nasty. Some of them are cute like gremlins. Some of them are like werewolves, right?
Yeah.
And they go wherever they can
Well, that's
to
kind of an
commit.
old movie. Have you seen that movie?
Which one?
Gremlins.
Yeah, I did see that movie. All right. And I used
Okay.
to know someone that actually owned a gremlin, you know, the car, right? I mean, it was quite the thing back in my day. That and Ghostbusters.
I think you're thinking about the wrong gremlins. But
I'm talking about the scary movie.
the scary movie where they turn all, like they
Yeah.
destroy a town.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly all the little parts in there. You know, when I was growing up, that's when I saw it, right? It wasn't one of
Yeah.
those movies that I could remember word for word. You know, I didn't start remembering movies until I got into my teens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
good.
that's what had me confused. The other thing that has me confused that was a question I brought up the other day, and I wondered if you had concocted an answer to it yet. And that was, what job do you think, if Trump isn't president and he's, well, actually, if he's in prison, like everybody in job gets everybody gets a job in prison.
Yeah.
Like, what prison job would be good for him? Like,
Mm,
I don't know.
I'm thinking I don't want him near the food. I don't trust him to keep the place clean. Um, Whatever he can do that fraud is encouraged. All right, whatever situation where being a fraud is, you know, rewarded. Right, toilet scrubber. Someone says housekeeping, wiping Bubba's.
See, I don't think he can do toilet scrubbing. Like I mean, even though people are in prison, they deserve clean toilets, and I don't think he'd be good at that.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think there's anything Trump would be good at doing in prison, other
do you
than
think
being
maybe
nasty.
picking up the soap in the showers?
I don't even think he would, you know, be good at that. You know, he seems like the type of guy that's gonna argue about everything. So if you talk about picking up the soap, you know, there's gonna be an argument about why do I, you know, it's like that takes away the fun, right? I mean, but, you
What
know, who am
about? Okay,
That was
yeah.
funny
So
to me.
there's no job we can decide on for him then.
No,
Yeah.
but you know, we got to keep looking. We really do. Yes, we
I
got to
mean,
keep.
he's got to be able to earn what is it, like 25 cents an hour? What do they earn?
Yeah.
Like it's an outrageously low. He's got to be able to like prepare for life after though, right?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't think that he could really do anything of value outside of just being who he is, right? He could probably charge the Trump supporters in jail for, oh, that's what he could do. He could convince Trump supporters to give him his money and he would get him out of jail. He could come up with a nice, good way to do that. I think there would be a lot of people in jail that would pay him. And they
Maybe.
would believe him.
Maybe. You know,
Yeah.
the other thing, I was talking to a Trump supporter, or I was listening to a Trump supporter. I didn't get to talk to the guy I wanted to, but He had worked for the car industry, and I guess Trump in his campaigning came out and said that he was going to stop the progress on electric cars. That's one of his campaign projects, is he's going to stop the progress towards electric cars. And I was like, so this guy was going to vote for Trump. The reason he said he was going to vote for Trump is because he works in the car industry. He's one of the car union guys, and he wants Trump to stop the progress towards electric cars. And that just made me confused too, because like electric cars are almost 10% of new car sales right now. And I thought they believed in capitalism, like the market is driven by capitalism. But this guy apparently wants socialism in Trump to come in and stop people from buying the cars they want. Like,
well, I wouldn't believe these people, because a lot of people, especially MAGA, they make up stories like this to try to give themselves some credibility, but they're not really credible. So I don't trust it, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Like, it's hard to trust anything they say.
Anytime you're talking to somebody and they try to leverage their qualifications, I wouldn't trust them. All right. I mean, not initially, until they prove it. You got to be able to ask them questions about the discipline or the career field they're in, because there's a lot of people that get out here on TikTok, and we all know what they do.
Yeah.
They probably live in their grandmom's basement. All right. And they're unemployed watching Sean Hannity. This is what they really do. And
well, some Trump supporters I know are very successful people, but they're so successful and they're also greedy, and they don't want to pay any taxes. Like, every time they have to pay one little bit of taxes, they throw a temper tantrum about it.
These people, listen, how do you know they're successful? I gotta ask, okay, because
I know exactly what they make, and they make over $250,000 a year. So,
okay, so these are people you know in real life that support
them. These are people I know in real life. They're very.
You know what I call them? Pending criminals. I do. They're pending criminals. Okay, because they must have took some PPP loan money and they just haven't been caught. You can't be close to Donald Trump and not be in danger of being indicted. It doesn't work that way.
It's true. It's just
most of the time they like Donald Trump because they think that Donald Trump's going to allow them to get away with breaking the law, because he himself is corrupt. I mean, if they don't, then I would say, you know what, I stand corrected. But that tends to be the attitude. You don't want to pay taxes? Who else didn't want to pay taxes? Oh, Donald Trump. Well, what would you do to avoid paying taxes? Oh, I would inflate some numbers. I would do that.
Yeah.
You see how they do it?
Yeah. They don't think avoiding taxes, even by lying, is a crime, except for they think that they think crazy things. Like, they think that people who work as immigrants in the country don't pay taxes, but they do. But they never get to claim any of their taxes back, despite having a really low income. And they never get any of their Social Security money, despite paying into it. And they do pay sales tax on everything they buy in our country. They do pay property tax on their rent, which they always pay on time.
Exactly.
It's like they're crazy. But Donald Trump, who supposedly is a billionaire, according to them, paid $750 in taxes for many years, and more taxes to China than to our own country. They're just fine with him doing that.
That part right there. That's the irony in all of this, right? MAGA, they don't want to take accountability for what you just said. He's paying more taxes to China than he did to the United States of America, and they don't care.
No. And the other thing they don't care about, like, they really worry about Hunter Biden's laptop, even though Hunter Biden's hot and he's got a humongous member there.
They want to be Joe Biden. MAGA wishes that they could be tied to Joe Biden and Hunter Biden.
Oh,
right?
but I mean, not only
Hunter Biden's a
does
lot
he
cooler.
have
Isn't Hunter Biden a lot cooler than Don Jr.?
Oh, he's so much cooler. Yeah.
Right. I
He's so
thought
much
so.
cooler. And he's so much hotter. Like he's a good looking man. And the thing is that like uh what's funny to me is that they ignore everything that Joe Biden has done. Like, and the steps that he's made in reducing poverty on all segments of our population, but particularly BIPOC people, is absolutely amazing. The policies he's put in place, the business loan access, the women business owned access, the grants and loans for going to school, the grants and loans for housing, the grants and loans for all of those things to kind of bring some equity to BIPOC people in this country is absolutely beautiful. And they ignore all of that. They ignore that he got the infrastructure project done. They ignore that he's expanded Medicare and Medicaid. They ignore that he's made insulin affordable for nearly everybody. They ignore all of that stuff.
Tell them, Poetivity. They ignore it because they themselves know that if they were to accept it, they would have to bow down and admit President Biden's a better president, and they can't do it because they're hypocrites.
He's so much better. And then they talk about like, oh, you know, he's overprinted money. No, that was Trump. Trump and Steve Mnuchin or whatever his freaking name was, that crazy looking like psycho character that was put in over the
we going money in on MAGA tonight. Oh, wow.
Like he's the one that had the presses running so hot printing money. Like it's crazy, you know?
Right on the heels of Donald Trump shutting down the country because he failed to respond to the pandemic. You know, you brought up the migrant situation. Those same hypocrites, the ones that say, we don't want the migrants in our country. These same folks will be employing the migrants. You ever seen this when it was happening in Florida? Remember that?
Well, and these same people are complaining about inflation, whereas if we brought in enough people to work the 10,000 open or 10 million open jobs, then inflation would drop because manufacturing could up its production and actually get the things done, and then they would be cheaper because they'd be sitting in warehouses, so many of them made, that the prices would start dropping on stuff. That's how it works. And yet they're not willing to do, they're acting like it's the biggest crisis they've ever seen that so many people are coming in. And we still have 10 million open jobs.
Yeah. MAGA, all the MAGA people out there that are unemployed, go work those jobs. How about that?
Yeah, go work those jobs. You're so mad they're taking your jobs.
Yeah, go work them.
You know, but you're not taking your jobs. Somebody's got to take those jobs. If we want to get our GDP up to 6% or higher.
Down. MAGA, get one of those jobs.
Yeah, if we want our inflation to come down and our GDP to go up, we got to bring in those people to work those jobs that they're not taking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
All right. Well, listen.
It's crazy. What else? There was one more thing I wanted to mention.
All right, get it all out. All right. And
that's what I'm thinking about.
Because Zeus has to go to other affairs, but it was nice. What else was it?
Oh, I've forgotten. That's what getting old does for you. Like you go blank.
Well, you did great. I mean, listen, we delivered a lot of truth today for MAGA, all right? And Poetivity, I really do appreciate you, all right?
Yeah, well, I appreciate you too. I love your live. I love what you do. I love that you're Zeus. I love that you have that thunderclap thing that you do. Yeah. And thanks for being so entertaining and putting so much thought and effort into your show. I really do appreciate you.
Wow. Well, listen, thank you so much. That really melts my heart. I really do appreciate it. All right.
All right. Well, take care, and thanks for having me up.
All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the beautiful Poetivity a round of applause. No lies detected. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now listen. It's Friday night. Zeus has to go out and tend to other affairs, get a little jiggy perhaps. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to keep it clean, but I do have to run. All right. I appreciate all the conversations I was able to squeeze in on such a Friday All right, but guess what? I might go live this weekend to carry on with these MAGA conversations. All right, because when it's all said and done, MAGA won't have any excuses when it's time to come clean to Zeus and say, Zeus, you were right the whole time. And I'm so sorry that I led this country down a dark and dangerous path because I was so loyal to Donald Trump. Zeus, here's your stakes. Zeus, here's the money that I bet you. And Zeus, I will never do it again, all right? Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe.
Zeus opens, the most handsome in the kingdom.
Yowie. All right, TJ. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I stand. Yeah, repent, MAGA. Cut it out, Danger. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, the evening show. Have a great weekend. Like a bubble from me, fool. I got money on my mind. I can't leave it up to you. I can't hang around with you. You fall in love too quick. You a high risk. I put a battery on your head. This is where the ball feds. When you playing with the gods and you playing with the dead. Cut it out. Yeah, grab your goose. Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. I know the ladies love me cause I'm sweet like a tooth. Yeah, baby. On the gods, but he's such a douche. I tried to be patient, but you had to light my fuse. I'm catching all these snakes like a mongoose. These ladies love me, yeah, I'm the one that they choose. You know I'm so handsome, that's why they call me Zeus. This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. Yes! Hey, y'all better keep it clean out there. I make my own rules. I'm a god, call me Zeus. Thank you, President Biden. You say you wanted facts. Well, thank you, Kamala Harris. For this moment now, I gotta choose if you play around with love. Thank you to the Democrats. Thank you all the panelists. You're all amazing. You can't swim, don't be in the pool. It's gonna be okay, MAGA. It's over. Me be cool. I'm just sitting on my throne while you looking like a goof. Yeah. Time to let loose with the truth. Yeah, grab your goose. Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. Gotta keep it clean. Love me cause I'm sweet like a tooth. Playing hating on the gods, but he's such a douche. Try to be patient, but you thank you to grand jurors, yes. Catching all these snakes. Red, yeah. Ladies love me, yeah. He whistle. You know I'm so handsome. That's why they call me Zeus. This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus. I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Don't be playing with my mood when I'm moving like Zeus. Cali, like Zeus. Thunder in the sky, light you up like Zeus. I make my own rules. I'm a god, call me Zeus. Yeah, you know about me. I like to get wild and loose. That's true. I'm the god of the skies, you know what I'm saying? Right. I'm breaking down the roof. We didn't get it in this morning, Reggie. Now mine on the beat. We're going to get it in now. Lawrence Reed on the beat. Jack Smith. He's deranged. I can dance the box in the jungle like a kangaroo. Don't get deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Yeah, Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. Jack Smith is a Trump hater. His wife's a Trump hater. His family is a Trump hater. They hate him with a passion. They'll do anything they can to hurt Trump. But he's a harasser and an abuser. Did the FBI do that? Because they also did something where they put documents all over the floor, so they took pictures. Every time the radical left, I'm out of here. Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of courage. Right.